Cheers, I do, buckaroos, and how the heck are you? I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, going back in time for this one. Pendergast Royal Gold Cask Finished Bourbon. It is a 90 proof bourbon. I picked it up on my visit to Tom's Town. We're in Kansas City a few weeks back. Until he could fire up his own still, the country's most corrupt political boss, King Tom Pendergast. Anyway, I'm trying to, channel him. I digress. Procured the finest bourbon. He bottled it, trademarked the brand name, and sold Royal Gold to a thirsty public. In the same spirit and the same name, we present Pendergast Royal Gold Bourbon. I don't know how long this is aged, and quite frankly, I don't care. I think sometimes because I used to get hung up on how long it was aged, and I don't anymore. I get more hung up on the taste, right? Because I think some of us worry too much about how long something is aged rather than the quality of the product. Like some folks will say, well, I don't like a $20 bourbon without even tasting the $20. I don't like a $40 bourbon without even tasting it. So you got to keep your mind open. If you've already got your mind made up that you're not going to like a certain product, you're not going to like it. When I was at Tom's Town Distillery, I had a Manhattan. Now they didn't have a Manhattan on their cocktail list, but he said he could make me one. I said, I'm looking. He said, did you decide on something? I said, well, I'm not seeing it on your list, but I'm going to assume you can make a Manhattan. He says, yes, and he proceeded to make the best Manhattan that I've ever had in my life. It was freaking brilliant. So here I've got a nice jigger pour of the Royal Gold. We're going to drink her neat, right out of the glass, as I believe that Mr. Pendergast would have drank it back in the day. A lot of toffee on the nose. I'm going to say toffee more so than caramel. And here's how I differentiate the two. I believe, for me, caramel anyway is a little sweeter and a little creamier, whereas toffee is a little richer, a little more decadent. And that's how I differentiate those two aromas and flavors. You may find some dark fruits finding their way in there. You taste what you taste. But I'm here just to drink the bourbon, man. I'm not here to get pretentious on you. It runs about $50 a bottle. For someone on my particular budget, that's a little on the higher side, but it is worth every darn penny, and I pay it every time. It really is that good. And for those of you that only buy expensive bourbons, I gotta be honest with you. I mean, I would put this up against some 70, 80, even $100 bourbons that I've purchased in the past. I believe it is that good. It's a very rich bourbon, a very decadent, a nice texture, nice mouthfeel. I'm going to say there's a lot of vanilla presence here. I didn't mention that on the nose, but it is there. A lot of vanilla. Again, I go back to toffee. I'm going to say I get some slight hazelnut notes in there as well. Again, you might find some dark fruit. You may pick out some fig in there. Or date. What you're definitely going to find, though, is a whole lot of spice in the finish, man. It finishes very spicy and oaky dry, man. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, as a man in his mid-50s, I've had a lot of bourbon over the years, as you might expect. And I got to tell you, this may very well be my absolute favorite. It is, again, I believe it's that good. And not just because I like the name, you see, since, my name is Tom, Anyway, I digress. It's absolutely beautiful. I would have loved to have been there back in that day. I've always said that I was born too late. Oh, mercy. Anyway, I digress. This is definitely a whiskey. Sipping whiskey, I guess, would be the technical term, but I think it's just when you want to enjoy, whether however you drink it, you will want to take some time and enjoy every bit. So there you go. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, whiskey evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor, wisdom, and all right, good guy. Cheers.